everybody. Coach May here. We have a very special guest on the Assabet Valley Baseball Show today. He's a Hall of Famer for the Reading Phillies. He's a two-time MVP, Triple-A winner. Watch him go yard.
先ほど7回のピンチは素晴らしい気迫の投球を見せました田中将大。ライトへ、またまたバーナムジュニアがやりました。1対1同点。田中将大から久々の得点をロッテが挙げました。18イニングぶりの得点は貴重な同点弾。バーナムジュニア、この7月存在感を見せつけるバーナムジュニア、第4号田中から打ちました。いやー、田中のボールを捉えました。1対1。いやー、ここ最近何かをやる男ですね、バーナムジュニア。この田中のこれ変化球ですか、
スライダーですね、スライダーがやっぱりちょっと甘く入ったんですけどね、でも田中の守備状態としてはね、やっぱり守りに入ってるんですよね。で、前の回もそうだったんですけど、なかなかストレートをね、使ってこないんですよ。
Gary, that was a full house that night. Glad to see you on the show.
Yeah, super cool, Bill. I mean, to play ball in Japan and hit a home run it's an out-of-body experience. You could see by my celebration at the end that, yeah, man, I was just on cloud nine at that point.
Now the credentials, we could go on all day, Gary, on your credentials, but you played in Europe, you played in Taiwan, Japan, you played for major league affiliates, the Phillies, the Reading Phillies, you're in their Hall of Fame. You've played for Toronto, Oakland drafted you, Chicago Cubs drafted you. So you bring a lot of credentials with you today. But could you maybe give us some insight for the players here in the high school on the things that you had to work, the hard work that had to go in to have these types of accomplishments?
Yeah, absolutely, Bill. I mean, when you talk about getting better as a baseball player, a lot of people refer to, practice, practice, practice. And most of this practice stuff happens, in a team setting at a local park, in a structured time frame. But, with what's recently gone on, players now have to be a little bit more innovative, practice on their own, think of drills that are going to get these guys better. So that way when all this stuff goes away and we're now back on the field, you really haven't missed a step. So today I brought to you guys some drills that we can practice alone and anywhere in your hometowns, and all you need really is a ball and a glove. That can make you a better baseball player.
Well, that's great. Thanks for bringing those on. And Gary, just a quick shout out to my Aunt Patty and my cousin Ken, because they're from South Windsor and they know you and big fans of you big time. So I'd be remiss if I didn't give them the shout out. And thanks for bringing those. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we're here with my man Zach May, an Assabet alumni, fantastic hitter, fantastic player, and a college baseball player. I've had the pleasure of working with Zach for a long time now, and I drove up here from South Windsor, Connecticut to help you guys with your game today. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to work on some fielding drills. Everybody here needs to know how to field a ground ball, set their feet, and fire it over to the target, whether it's second base, first base, home plate, or third base, okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to play basically wall ball. You could take any ball that you have in your garage or in your house, whether it's a baseball, a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, a racquetball, anything that bounces, and you're going to find yourself a brick wall in your local neighborhood, okay? All right, Zach, this is what we're going to do. This is how I want you to set up, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to get yourself in a basic fielding position, okay? As if the pitcher is throwing the ball to the strike zone, okay? And what you're going to do is I want you to take the ball like a little dart and throw yourself a ground ball off the wall and come back and field it. But when you field the ball, what I want you to do is I want you to set your feet, and I want you to transition yourself to your target and actually get your arm up to your ear as if you're making a throw, okay? So go ahead. Perfect. One more and then pause. Okay, right here. This is perfect form right here. Guys, I want you to notice one thing here. Zach's feet are in a straight line to his target, which is the first baseman. His elbow is pointed at the target's chest, okay? And he's got the ball up in the air right by his ear, and he's on top of the ball, okay? This right here, guys, is an excellently perfect position to be in to make an accurate throw, okay? A lot of times what happens, especially with you young guys, is this front arm is gonna swim, okay? I call this the swim technique. And what happens here is this arm goes flying out this way, okay, and the ball sails on you, okay, you're gonna airmail the first baseman if your throw is to the first baseman from shortstop, okay? So this front elbow, this front glove is absolutely vital in making an accurate throw, okay? So every time you do this drill and you set your feet, you point that elbow right at your target, okay? That's gonna give you a much better position to make that accurate throw, okay? Huge key point. Let's go back to the drill. Okay, throw a couple balls off there, Zach. Okay, stop. Okay, now what I want you to do is, what we're gonna do here is, we're gonna add a little bit of some side work, okay? So what I want you to do, Zach, is I want you to kind of start over on this side, throw the ball on an angle to yourself, so that way you have to move, you have to shuffle to your right side to get the ball, okay?
All right. Take it on the backhand.
Yes, sir. Okay, good. This is baseball, boys. We're never gonna do it right every single time. Good, backhander. Get yourself in a ready position to make the throw. Boom, good, there you go. Couple more. Boom, as you can see, guys, Zach is throwing this ball so he can give himself that backhanded ground ball, okay, and make that backhanded play. One more, Zach. As you can see, guys, nobody is ever perfect in any of these drills we ever do. Nobody is perfect in baseball. And if you are not making mistakes, guys, while you're practicing out there, you're not pushing yourselves far enough, okay? Get comfortable and have the courage to make these mistakes, okay? Really try to stretch yourself out there, guys, because we want to get you better. Let's give yourself some front side throws. Zach, go ahead. So you're moving to your left. Boom. Okay, good. Notice how Zach circles around, gets his footwork under him, and is in a straight line with momentum towards his target, which is first base right now. He's throwing himself on an angle. Boom. There you go. Good, Zach. This is a simple wall ball drill, guys. Can be done anywhere you can. There you go. Good. Once we do maybe 50, 75, 100 of these, okay, and you feel yourself comfortable, then what you're gonna wanna do now is put a little pressure on yourself, okay? So you're gonna wanna get yourself to about a 1 minute, all right? Do a 1 minute drill in which we're gonna count the number of times, okay, that Zach actually can field the ball, throw it back to the wall, and catch it again, okay? This will give you the feeling of a little bit of added pressure, a runner coming down the line, because you obviously need to know that you have to make a smooth field, a good set, and a good throw. All right, start, there we go, there's one. Good job, Zach. 2, 3, come on. 4, 5, 6, good. 7, 8, nice and easy, come on. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, good job. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, nice, backhand, 26, 27, 28, 29, come on, hang in there, 30, 31, come on, keep going, 31, okay, excellent. As you can see, guys, we did 31 throws against the wall with perfectly clean fielding position, okay? Now, if Zach wanted to make this more difficult on himself, he could simply throw the ball on a little bit of an angle and move himself to the right and move himself to the left. On a couple of those, you saw a backhanded catch. Outstanding. That's exactly what you guys want to work on to become better infielders, because we are all fielding balls, making great throws as quickly as possible. That's going to save your ball team. That's going to save your team a lot of runs, and that's what's going to win championships, guys. Defense wins championships, okay? Thanks. All right, guys, we're back here. I'm going to show you guys a couple quick drills you can do alone to strengthen your forearms with just a baseball bat, okay? The first drill we're going to talk about here is just the basic windshield wiper, okay? Hold the bat straight out. If you're left-handed, you grip properly. If you're right-handed, you grip properly, okay? So I'm a left-handed hitter, so I'm going to grip like this, and I'm just going to simply go out like this. Notice, guys, my arms aren't bent. My arms are out straight, locked, and I'm working my forearms. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, add yourself a donut on the bat, okay? Don't count the reps, just go for the feeling, okay? Once these start to burn, you're gonna work yourself into the burn, okay? That's what's gonna be more important for you, okay? The next drill you're gonna do is, if you can do it one-handed, go for one-handed, okay? 90-degree windshield wipers, okay? Switch on the other side, and come up, okay? The next thing we're gonna do, guys, is called javelins, okay? Take the bat to your side and curl it up. You're gonna be working the back side of your forearm as well, okay? Forearms, guys, incredibly important as a baseball player. Not only for hitting the baseball, but for also throwing the baseball, okay? So you wanna work yourself into the burn, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. Don't let the bat swing you, you swing the bat. You control the weight of the bat, okay? We're gonna do what's called a stride and a pivot, okay? So you're gonna sit the bat behind your waist, okay? And you're gonna stand up to bat just like this. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stride and we're gonna pivot, okay? What this is gonna do, guys, this is gonna help get your lower half, get your feeling in the lower half of what it feels like to hit the ball with just your lower half. Stride and pivot, okay? Stride, pivot, okay? And what you want to focus on is getting that back leg to pivot, getting that nice back-shaped L, a nice stiff front side, and a closed front toe, okay? A couple more here. Stride and pivot, all right? If you have a tee and you want to hit the ball off the tee, that's another advanced portion of this drill, okay, in which you can actually hit the ball in a stride pivot position, okay? And finally, the one last drill I wanted to show you guys is basically as you're walking up to the plate, okay, basically dry swings. However, it's going to be something like a game time dry swing, okay? So you walk up to the plate, number 1 is your feet, number 2 is your knees bent, 3 is going to be your hands right up by your ear, 4 is going to be the timing of your swing. You're going to tell yourself, I'm going to drive the next strike right back up the middle, okay? And number 5 is going to be the actual swing, which is the chin on your front shoulder all the way to the chin to your back shoulder. Okay, so it's going to go something like this, okay? Here, and swing, okay? So let's walk through that again. Here we go, ready? I'm in the game, I get my feet, I get my knees, I get my hands, I get my timing, I'm gonna drive the next strike right back up the middle. Now I'm gonna swing shoulder to shoulder. Bang, okay? Just trying to create some muscle memory with your brain so that way you guys can count in sequence while you're out there on the field in a proper way so that way you can remember it and your information does not get disorganized in your brain, okay?
That was outstanding. Gary, thank you so much for taking the time, coming up all the way from Windsor, Connecticut to basically parts unknown here, but we're in the Assabet Valley Network. Thanks a lot for coming up today and showing us these skills, especially during times like this in a pandemic. What do you think are some of the key things that the players are working for towards summer ball that they should be doing right now, aside from the skills that you showed us today?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest probably thing, you know, a 12, 13-year-old kid needs to do is every day when they wake up, think about getting outside and conditioning your body. You know, we live in a society where you can just simply entertain yourself the entire day, never move 2 feet and eat the entire refrigerator, you know, from the whole thing, you know. And that could possibly be the #1 most destructive thing to becoming a better baseball player, is to just veg out in front of a TV and to click buttons all day and to watch TV and to play video games and basically do absolutely nothing. So my suggestion to any kid that's out there, no matter how old you are, is to wake yourself up, put a ball in your glove, go to a local park, a brick wall, throw the ball off of the wall like we showed you today, grab a bat, do some dry swings. If you have a soft toss net or you have something to hit into, that's even better for you. A lot of players that I knew that did not grow up with the resources we have, what they would do is they would roll up socks. They would roll up 2 socks, they'd put them on a tee, and they'd literally hit them into like a basement wall or something. Sure. There's so much stuff you can do by yourself. We only tapped into a couple things today, but there's so much stuff you can do as a pitcher to get to balance points, and you can always use like a rolled up socks as a ball. So that would be my suggestion to any of the kids out there, is to get yourself moving and basically get yourself ahead of the kids that aren't, because there are a lot of kids that aren't doing anything.
That's great. All great points. Gary, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you a couple professional questions. You were in spring training with Ken Griffey Jr., and you're very quotable. I remember you saying a couple things like you've got to have a backyard to go yard, things like that. Yeah. What are some of these things that you heard that for entertainment purposes that you could share with us right now?
Yeah, it was super funny. I'll never forget it. It was 2004, and I was in Major League spring training with the Cincinnati Reds, and wow, there was Ken Griffey Jr., man. And, you just watch that guy out there, and he's hitting ball after ball over the fence, and it's so easy for the guy. And, I was like, wow, let me try to get a batting tip from Ken Griffey Jr. And, I'll never forget. I said, hey Griff, what's your secret, man? What is it that you do that other players don't do? And he said, and he was real funny. He talks like, the kid in school that gets in trouble all the time. And he says, man, what you want to do is you want to put a little bit more food on your plate, man, because you got to have a big backyard to go yard, man. So I suggest just eating a little bit more and putting some pounds on you. And I'll tell you what, I cracked up laughing because it was just super funny in the moment. And it just goes to show you that some of these guys, man, they're just so talented. They don't really have an explanation for it. They're just simply gifted, and this is the way it's going to be. And I'm poetry in motion as you watch me play, and that was him.
And he always seemed to keep it loose. And same thing with you. When we go on and we take a look at your baseball page, we see a lot of videos of you having fun. And coaches always talking about you as a person that had fun. And could you talk about that too, as far as in the game, especially in the game of baseball?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're putting the work in practice, and you're putting the commitment in, the dedication, and you're really dialed down, I'll tell you what, the more you trust yourself, the easier it is to be loose and just go out and have a good time. Be as silly as you can, because the game provides enough stress and enough pressure that it's just the obvious. I always wanted to be that guy that was going in the opposite motion, trying to keep guys loose, because I always felt the looser they were, the more the athlete's going to show up. So, if I'm coaching younger kids, I'm reading a joke 10 to 15 minutes before the game starts. I want to see smiles. I want to see guys cracking up laughing, because trust me, when all the championship teams I was on, we had characters that were just super loose and funny.
Now, living in New England and the Northeast, we've watched a lot of Boston Red Sox games, a lot of New York Yankee games, and we always joked about a time with Jeter being the shortstop and who would want to be in the Yankee organization as a shortstop at that time. And you had the distinction of having some great players ahead of you. You had Ryan Howard in Philadelphia, you had Delgado in Toronto, and you made a lot of adjustments. You ended up taking those adjustments, going to Japan, playing with Bobby Valentin. Could you talk about making adjustments and in times of when times could be hard?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Bill. I mean, one of the points I would want to make to any young kid out there, we live in a specialized world now, where people say, oh, what sport do you play? Oh, I play baseball. I plug in 365 days a year, and this is the team I'm on, and this is what's going to happen. Well, my point would be about making adjustments is, if you're out on the ball field, take ground balls at shortstop, take fly balls in the outfield. Get yourself a catcher's mitt. Get behind the dish. Okay. If you have a desire to throw strikes, get on the bump. Start throwing. Okay. Because versatility is going to get you in the lineup. Okay. If you're a guy that is halfway athletic, that wants to be in the lineup, your chances increase if you can play multiple positions. So making that type of adjustment and having the awareness to say to yourself, geez, we got 4 shortstops out here. But you know what? Out of the corner of my eye, I only see a third baseman over there, and I don't really think he can play as good as I can. Go grab your third base glove and go over there and start taking ground balls. And start telling the coach, hey man, listen, I play multiple positions here, and I'm ready to play. I'll do whatever it takes to get in that lineup.
That's outstanding. Gary, thank you so much for taking the time and talking with us today and showing us some drills that can help young players in high school. For the Assabet Valley Baseball Show, I'm Coach May. And again, thank you very much to Hall of Fame Reading Phillies star player, Gary Burnham. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Billy.